I'm this, sage old woman sitting on the mountain, and, they come to me and, give me cupcakes, and I give them advice. I'm Brooke, and I'm 37 years old. I am straight and married for almost 5 years now. Before that, we lived together for several years. We dated for a few months before that, but we were friends for years before that. He used to live in Richmond, and I lived up here in DC, and he would come up here to dance. So sometimes after the dances up here, he would crash at my house. And somehow that turned into one night, we were watching TV on the couch after a dance, and he kissed me. And we've been together ever since. So we lived together for probably 3 or 4 years before we got married. We kind of just got married because we wanted a big party, and we wanted the Boilermakers, which is our favorite swing band, to come and play a dance for us. And a wedding seemed a good way to do that, so made it official. Got, the tax benefits. This is George. This is the only kind of child we have or want. We're childless by choice. I've grown up pretty much up and down the East Coast and slowly been moving northward, and came to DC to go to grad school and never left. So I've been here 13 years now, so I guess I'm permanently here, or as permanent as DC residents get. Previous to my marriage, I was pretty much a serial monogamist. There were a couple of really heinous breakups, and after those I kind of went a little crazy, but generally I tend to be in a relationship and stay in it and then break up and be sad and mourn and then get in another relationship. I am mostly an atheist. I've actually never been to church for a church service. I grew up in a loving family. My parents are still married. They're actually 52 years married. I think they're really good people. I had brothers and sisters, a very happy home. I grew up kind of in the sticks, and so there was not a lot of diversity. I was always kind of the weird drama kid who dressed in black for 4 years, so that wasn't necessarily well received. So I think by the fact that I was picked on, I never wanted to be the person that picked on other people. I was kind of the little oddball in my family, still am to a good degree. They're definitely much more conservative socially than I am. I actually am diagnosed with social anxiety disorder, which means I find social situations very scary. And that's actually one reason I got into swing dancing, because it was a social situation where I could go, and if I just stood on the sidelines and watched, that was totally okay. I knew that I needed to be out in the world. I'm an intelligent person. I know that living in my little cave and never leaving is probably not the healthiest life for me. That is how I started trying to break through my social anxiety. It's still something I struggle with, hopefully improving. I had college shenanigans, as many women do. I had a friend in college who was a lesbian, and we were good friends for a long time, and one night we were hanging out and she's like, why don't we try it? And we did, and it ended up being more amusing to me than arousing, and that's when I knew. I was like, this is fine. I had fun making out with you, but it really didn't do a whole lot for me, so I'm pretty sure I'm really straight. Most of my friends in this area are swing dancers, just because it's the one area where I go out and meet other people. I don't go to bars. I don't go to parties. Those are horrifying to me. I did date another dancer before Trey, and we're actually still friends. He came to my wedding. So there were other people that I dated through swing dancing, and it was definitely my most reliable way of meeting people. But I also did the online dating thing, again, because it's easier for me to talk to people on a computer than in person. So I did some of that, and it was interesting. Had some good dates and some bad dates, as those things usually go. I have a lot of friends who are still single, so as the old married lady, I think I'm a safe source of advice because I'm not competition and I'm not judgy at all. So like if someone comes to me and is like, I really like this guy, but he has some weird characteristic or something, I'm not gonna be like, ew, don't do that. And be like, well, how do you feel about that? And don't worry about what your roommate says. What do you think? And so I think I'm a safe source of advice. I guess they assume since I'm married that I've been through it all. I think because I've been so socially awkward that it's easy for me to relate to other people's problems. I think because I really have to work at being with people. And so I think the fact that I struggle so much puts me in a good position to understand and maybe help other people with their struggle. I personally don't want children. I have friends with children and their children are great. I love being Aunt Brooke. I'm happy to babysit. If you are going crazy with your children and you need to get away with your husband or with your partner or just by yourself for a weekend, you're welcome to drop them off at my house, and we will do all the things that they're not allowed to do at your house. And then at the end of the weekend, when they're all hyped up on sugar, I'll give them back to you. I've been an egg donor, so my DNA is out there, but I do not feel the need to have kids ever myself. I like to do what I like to do when I like to do it, and that is not a good attitude to have if you're going to have kids. It works with cats mostly, but not with children, so I think keeping the cats and laying off on the kids is a good idea. I like cupcakes, yes.
But that cupcake looks angry and vicious.
It is. Well, I mean, I guess this is trying to make me not love cupcakes quite as much as I do. Maybe this is like the cupcake version of a condom, like, you can do it, but watch out.